If you're a plumbing company that's only trying to get customers at the time of need, you're missing out on a huge opportunity in marketing called priming.
It's the Mama's Plumber Paradox with Tyler Williams, the marketing man.
And so I want you to imagine this. You're at a party and somebody hands you a big clipboard that's kind of heavy. And then they ask whether or not you would be willing to donate to a charity. And you might not think that that clipboard has anything to do with influencing you to say yes, but it does. And it's been proven over and over again through psychological research. So it's this invisible thing that I want to talk about. This idea of priming your customers before they need you. Because it allows you to stop chasing expensive leads on platforms with everybody else and own your own zone to get high-paying, loyal customers. So let's cover the concept of what is priming. So it's the art of arranging people's perception of you, so that way when there is a need and a time for a transaction, they are more agreeable to you and often coming to you first instead of second, third, or last. And I don't want you to think about this as manipulation because some people will claim it as so. What I think that this really is really just planting your garden. So that way that when a need does arrive, they're going to grow into a customer naturally for you. So think of it as setting the stage or influencing their perception before you even get to the sale. So at this point, you might be wondering, how does this apply to a plumbing business? So the problem is most plumbers only market when the need arises. They only market down through lead gen or lead aggregators to go find the customer that needs the plumber right at that moment. And that's really reactive. And it completely forgoes the responsibility of being proactive in your market with your marketing to build your business. The priming is about building the reputation that is the herald before you ever walk through the threshold of the door. So that way, when there is a need, you're the only one that they want to call. And so I want you to think about the typical buying journey of a plumbing service. You have the initial need or problem. Hey, my toilet's making some weird noises.
I'm not feeling too good.
And then you have information gathering, typically, right? If they don't know who to call, what do? They turn to their friends or family.
Do you know a 5-star plumber with huge muscles?
After talking to them, they will end up going online, looking at reviews. And then finally, they make their decision and they call the plumber. They chose someone. And I want you to be chosen before they ever have the problem. You probably have a dentist that you go to over and over again. You're not going to choose another dentist willy-nilly. And you're not going to go onto Google and look for a dentist if you already have one that you're going to call. And your company could be the dentist of the home where you're already pre-positioned for them to come to you. Even if they aren't a customer, you can build this out. And so the power of priming starts before they get into information gathering or decision, but it influences it dramatically. And it definitely shortens the decision-making process. And so people, they're naturally lazy. It's humanity. We're going to go to the easiest, most relevant solution that's in front of us. And so if you are top of mind, that's in front of them before they even think of Google. So that's kind of the theory. But what do you actually do to build this? Let's give you some real-world examples so that way you can start activating this immediately for your own company. First of all, is of course social media. Your largest target demographic is on social media today, and you can publish stuff today in order to start moving that priming needle forward. And so one of the easiest things for you to do is to be educational on your social media. It's the same thing I'm doing here and I do on other platforms, is I'm trying to endear this knowledge to you so that A, you're empowered, and B, if you do need help putting things into place, you will seek me out. And you can play the exact same role for your own company. So imagine that you focus on symptoms or quick tips that the homeowner can actually do themselves that really you don't want to get in front of anyway. It positions you as the credible source and the authority inside of that industry, so that way they go, man, I trust this guy. He helped me out when we had a small drain problem, and now I have a big drain problem, and I've got to go call him. So this could be like 3 signs that your water heater might be failing. Easy steps for you to prevent clogs inside of your plumbing system. The first thing to do when you find a leak in your home. Things that give quick tips, actionable insights. They don't need to be long. You can publish them, you can get them out the door. Short form is perfect for a lot of this stuff. Another thing is the drum I will beat on all the time, which is going to be community events. Sponsoring teams is good, but you really should show up occasionally with your wrapped vans so that way you make a deeper impact. That is positioning. You are aligning yourself to the goodwill of the neighborhood. Cleaning up a local park or a place that needs a little attention in the community and then posting about it on social, encouraging other people to find other places to do the same, not only increases the goodwill, but it positions you as a helpful hand, which you should be in the plumbing scenario anyway. There's a concept of transference that happens psychologically when you start doing these things. And so what are some other local events that you can do? And remember, all these local events can be shared on social as well, which further endears you to the community. You could sponsor a booth at a local fair and do a giveaway or a contest. Obviously, that's a good one. But you do need to be active. Don't just sit at the table and expect people to drop on by. Pull them in, draw them in, talk to them as they walk by. You could partner with a local hardware store on a seminar, an educational seminar about like how to winterize your pipes for your home. And even if attendance isn't that great, I want you to remember that purely running the event and advertising that you did and recording segments of it, that is a lot of social media fodder that helps both you and the hardware store. Another way to pre-position your company, which a lot of you are already doing, and you don't really view it as priming, but it really is, are yard signs. Every job you do, you should be planting a yard sign or asking if you can plant a yard sign inside of that customer's yard. This opens you up to the neighbors. And then of course, the other thing you should do whenever you plant that yard sign is doing door knocking, 5 doors up, 5 doors down, 5 doors across. So that way you end up hitting 15 homes, letting them know that you've been in the neighborhood. They're gonna see your van, they're gonna see your yard sign, and they're gonna see a door knocker on their doorknob. All of those things are examples of priming. Now, a lot of you are doing the physical ones in some way, shape, or form, but not any of them on digital platforms. Google recently introduced an entirely new campaign type called demand gen. The demand gen component is specifically to help position people for when they want to build a priming audience like this. It pushes your company out in front of people way before they ever need you because you need them to be aware of you first. And priming is all about brand awareness. Now here's the coolest thing about priming, because it could seem like a lot of work, but really you can just start small with an even small budget. You can still laser focus your priming and start building your influence one zone at a time across your service area. And so maybe you say, I'm going to publish 2 videos a week that are educational on my social media platforms. And then I would encourage you to put some money behind those to turn them into ads so that way they hit the market in the thousands instead of the hundreds. And as you implement further tools into the priming process, what happens is this really cool thing called stacking. When you stack one marketing method on top of another into the same zone with the same people group, so they're seeing you in multiple places, it really endears them into their psyche. And that creates an extremely deep impression, and they can't but help know who you are, what you stand for, how you can help. And so what do you think they're gonna do when they have a problem that you can solve? They're going to call you. So if all this sounds way too complex, I do run an agency. It's called Mammoth Marketing. You can find more about us at Mammoth for Plumbers and schedule a free consult if you'd like us to look at your marketing. We give everybody an hour for free. And in that hour, we'll help you make the decisions on what your next steps should be moving forward, even if we're part of the picture or not. So I hope that everybody listening to this will end up taking this concept of priming forward. And there's a great book that kind of goes over the core concepts of this called Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. He's also the author of a book called Influence, which is also amazing. But what I really want you guys to be is well-rounded marketers. And most plumbers aren't because they've been taught by a system that used to work, ignored some of the core tenets like priming inside of the marketing sphere, and then everybody ran over to lead gen because at one point that was all you had to do. But those days are long gone. Competition is totally different these days. And so I want you to have the tools to be able to push your company forward. And so I hope this helped. You have a good one. We'll talk to you next time.
This is the Mama Plumber podcast with Tyler Williams, the Mama Marketing Man. OMG, this is going to be great. La 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 la
This is a Mama Plumbing podcast with Tyler Williams, the Mammoth Marketing Man.
OMG, this is going to be great. This is the Mammoth Plumber podcast with Tyler Williams, the Mammoth Marketing Man. OMG, this is going to be great. La 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 OMG, this is going to